Welcome to Kick Butt Barbecue. Just kidding, welcome to Pixicle Barbecue.
Here we are, talking about pork butt, pork shoulder, Boston butt, whatever you want to call it. Most guys competing, they typically like bone in. I prefer bone out. There's several reasons for that. As you can see, this is where they've taken the bone out. It gives me a lot more surface to put my rub in there, get a lot more coverage, get more crust, more bark. It's just all around nicer as far as I'm concerned. Typically at a barbecue competition, I will cook 4 pork shoulders. Today we're just going to practice. We're going to just do 2 boneless pork shoulders. I was going to show you some more of the money muscle. This one I'm not going to trim around. As you can see, when they were cutting this out, they cut through the money muscle. So I'm going to leave this one intact. We're just going to trim a little bit of the fat off of it and go from there. I don't like to get too carried away with trimming. Most of this fat will render out. Okay, as you can see here, this is the part with the money muscle. We're going to trim another one, and I will trim more around that. In a barbecue competition, you have to have at least a 4-pound Boston butt, pork shoulder. So you really can't just cut the money muscle out and cook it. It's not legal. So it has to be left attached to it, but we can trim around it so we can get a nice smoke ring on all sides. And then in the turn-in box, we will actually cut it into medallions. So we'll have chunks of pulled pork, then we'll have medallions as well. One thing I do like to do is run my hand on the inside of this where they have taken out the blade bone. Make sure I feel no bone fragments. So for this one, this is going to be about all that we're going to trim off of this. Everything else looks fairly good on it. We'll do a little bit more trimming on the other one here. This one here is a little bit harder to see the money muscle. Either one of these is going to be great for money muscle. Some of this should be saving for making sausage. I'm sure you all watched those vlogs on our sausage making. You can click up here and hit that link, and that'll take you right over to it. Oh yes. We are going to the Bixby barbecue competition, May 1st and 2nd this year, 2020. So if any of you are around, stop in, tell us you've been watching our vlogs. There they have the sausage competition, so we will have to be doing a few cooks with sausage just to get familiar with cooking that again. If you're doing this, if you feel them long here, it's a really hard fat. That I like to trim out as best I can. So here, again, it's not a great bit of money muscle, but here we've trimmed up on both sides. We should get a lot of smoke ring into that. That's about all that we can do. These aren't the greatest of pork shoulders for the money muscle. Hopefully when we are down in Bixby, we will have much better luck with our meat selection down there. We leave that up to Gene to go find out where our meat is hiding. Why? Our meat is hiding somewhere. Okay, there we go. 2 butts trimmed. I will get the injection. We will start that process. Once the injection's done, then we will put the rub on. Okay, so here we got our pork injection. My lovely assistant has gotten me a bag. You're going to want to do this every couple inches. I always hold my hand over it because when you're injecting it, it will squirt out. All done injecting, now we'll put our rub on. Okay, don't forget the whole trick is we want to get all this inside here. That's why we prefer to use the boned out. Make sure you get every bit of this. That money muscle. Okay, there we go. Now if I can get my lovely assistant to come over here and open up the bag. Okay, there we go. Butts are done, prepped, rubbed, injected. Everything is done. Put them in the fridge for tomorrow morning. We will put them on. Take about 8, maybe 10 hours of smoking, and we will have the most delicious pulled pork. Typically when I start to cook, I'll cook it for about 3 hours. So join us tomorrow when we start to cook. So here's our 2 pork butts. It's been a few hours since they've been on. We'll give them a little mop. This is the mop sauce that we made last night. Okay, so here's our pork shoulder. We will unwrap that. We'll take a look at our money muscle. See if we manage to save it, that we can cut it. Serve some medallions. Any good at all. So we'll just shred everything. Okay, so it didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. Flavor's there, everything else is good with it. Just didn't get the money muscle like I wanted to. So we'll try it again later.